What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. And before we get it in today, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I am kicking. And I highly appreciate it. Raiders, we did that. Denver, hasta la bye bye. I appreciate it. Appreciate the hospitality. But it's a wrap. Raiders didn't make the playoffs. Don't got a coach. Don't know where the fuck we're going or what are we doing. But as long as we get rid of Garoppolo, we're going to be all right. Bang, bang. So look, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on YouTube, social media. Shannon Sharp respects. He did that. He shot that, right? He brought in one of the most controversial comedians, period, to his platform, man. And 30 million people have tuned in. I myself watched the whole entire interview with Katt Williams. Katt Williams being one of my favorite comedians, period. Why do I like Katt Williams so much? I think I like him the same reason everyone else does, for the same reasons. And that's, he's straight up. He's as real as it gets. Now, do I think he says some crazy shit? Absolutely. But that's what is to be expected when you're interviewing Katt Williams. Katt Williams is going to say Katt Williams things. He's going to say whatever is on his mind. He's going to keep it real. He's going to keep it gangster to a certain point. He's going to let everyone know it doesn't matter how small he is. It doesn't matter how he speaks, how he talks, which way his perm is flowing that particular day. One thing you're going to get out of Katt is you're going to get raw, uncut realness, right? And I believe a lot of the things he said were real. You know, there's a lot of people tuning in for a reason. And it's not because it's full of frivolous lies. It's not because this conversation that he had was funny, because it absolutely was funny at times, but there were certain times when it was serious. I think everybody wanted to get an in-depth insight to who the man really is, and he didn't hold no punches. This man came for everybody's throat, right? He came for everybody's jugular, not jugular, right? And the reason he did this is because I feel that this man is tired of all the bullshit going on in Hollywood. He's tired of what people are saying about him being a drug addict and blackballed and this and that. At the end of the day, he has more money boo-boo than most of us do on any given day, right? And it's because he's worked hard from nothing to something. He came up out the mud with the bullshit, right? And he's for reals. You know, I've always known in the comedian game, I'm lightweight a comedian. That's what they say, right? I've always heard in the comedic game, it's a cutthroat industry, just like YouTube, just like the workforce, just like anything you do. When a whole bunch of people are trying to go for one position, that position being primero uno, right? Being number one. When everybody's going for numero uno and trying to be the top and the tip of the mountain, there's going to be a lot of cutthroatish activities that happen in the meantime, in between time. At the end of the day, there can only be one king. There could only be one king of comedy. There could only be one king in the workforce, one president, one fucking a representative that represents the people in social media, as a platform. There could only be one. And it's to each person's specific likings who they put at number one. It doesn't necessarily mean that Katt Williams is the funniest. It doesn't mean that Katt Williams, just has me laughing every time, because I have noticed that in a lot of his more recent shows, they do seem a little mind-boggling, right? It seems like his character has changed. But I still support his efforts. I still support him doing his thing. His longevity is real. Now, what Katt Williams said about other comedians stealing his material, who doesn't? Who doesn't take something? Hey, they say that fucking, who said it? E40 said it, right? He said, copying someone is the best form of flattery, right? Imitation. Everybody imitates someone to a certain point. Everyone's been doing it since the beginning of time. When people find out the recipe in Hollywood, when they find out the recipe in comedy, when they find out the recipe in social media, what does the next person do? He takes a little bit of this, a pinch of that, sprinkle in some of this, flies over there and gets him some of that, right? Everyone's going to get a little bit of everything, man, and to make it their own. Now, as far as when you're being a comedian, man, you cannot straight outright copy someone's jokes. For him saying that Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, all these different people stole his exact jokes, I'm a beg to differ. Yes, I said it. Fill it up with unleaded. I like Katt Williams, man. I support Katt and his decision to go out there and flamboyantly put out his truths. But at the same time, I'm going to beg to differ, because I believe that these guys are basically, man, paying homage to his joke. maybe bring it up, bring the value of it up, threw in their own little mix. Now, if you steal it verbatim, word for word, copy the movements, I will say this: Cedric the Entertainer with that little shit he did, it is highly suspect, man. If you can't come up with your own material, if you can't write as a comedian, then you can't comedy as a comedian, right? If you're not a funny person, you just are funny looking, well, then they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. That's just what I've always learned in the game, A true comedian, someone who truly does this for a living or in real life, is a funny person by nature. There's someone who could just come with one-liners right off the tip of the tongue, right off the domelization, right? That just come with it. You can't play funny. You're either a funny style or you're not. And that's it. So this shit going viral with Katt Williams is because people appreciate and respect the words. And because obviously, man, he said some crazy shit. So let's bypass and sidetrack away from what he said about comedians stealing his material. And I want to kind of go forward into, the words that Ice Cube addressed. And here's another thing. We're going to keep it real. If you ain't said nothing wrong, if you lied, if you bullshitted, if you finagled, if you try to bamboozle the people, then there would be no reason for all these comedians, as well as people like Ice Cube, Ludacris, all the people that he mentioned, voicing their opinions and basically scrambling all over the social media to speak up. Now, when it comes to Cube, man, respects. You already know Ice Cube's a legend. He's a West Coast legend, right? Can't knock Ice Cube's hustle, man. He did it from the limestones, from the mud, from the limestones in the mud, right? And he made himself into something. He's a lot of characters. He's a rapper. He's an actor. He's a producer. He's a writer. He's everything. Okay? One thing he ain't is a bullshitter. So when Ice Cube addressed Katt Williams, he did it respectfully and kind of agreed with Katt Williams on a lot of the things, and then had a little bit of a different story on certain subjects or certain situations that pertain to his name being dragged through the mud. When you're up out the mud, you don't want to go back. That's one thing, that's for sure. Nobody wants to be broke, have it, and be broke again. That's not on the recipe plan, right? That's not in the cookbook. Everybody wants to progress from the dirt to a smirk, right? Everybody wants to come up. So when you're saying, that a man that's very blessed because of his hard work and the efforts that he's put into his craft, has made some weird decisions, or some decisions when he says of a sexual nature in his movies, and that Katt Williams, kind of rewrote the whole script and all that. I called a little bit of caca on that. I didn't agree with that. I believe that, everything I've ever seen from Ice Cube has been stand up and straight. I believe he's given a lot of people opportunities and made stars out of nothing. I believe that he deserves his flowers living rather than dead, like they give him to everyone else that passes. Then all of a sudden everybody wants to go to their party and turn up, right? Turn up while they're alive. That's the truth. Katt Williams, definitely spoke his mind on a lot of situations, and he deserves the respect as a man that's willing to do that. See, there's not a lot of people that do that. Ask P. Diddy. He'll tell you. There's a lot of people that like to keep this game that they're running or whatever's happening in Hollywood to that circle, to that elite circle. And a lot of the people that support, it's our hard-earned dollars that are buying the tickets to these comic shows. It's our money that are, paying for these fucking tickets and the popcorn to go watch these movies. Without us, the consumer, the people, the regulars, the regulars, the motherfuckers that are like us, going to these concerts and supporting Hollywood in every form or fashion, they wouldn't have nothing. They'd be right there with us, still trying to fucking wonder if the VHS work. That's just it. Everything that they do, not only do they have themselves to thank for the work they put in or the hookups that they've, gained over the years, but also the people. Everything you do depends upon the people. Just like this Shannon Sharpe interview, it all depends and hinged on the people that set up the meeting, the people that asked the questions, being Shannon Sharpe, who's a very well-respected ex-NFL football player, man, with a gift of gab and some game and some spit. And then, of course, Katt Williams, who wouldn't want to see Katt? Katt doesn't do very many interviews that are serio, meaning serious. Most of the time, they're jokes. He's clowning. He's capping. We all seen what he did on Wanda. For 2 packs of motherfucking Newports, you can get a free car wash. I'm still looking for that deal because I don't want the jewelry she was wearing, but I definitely want the packs of Newports and the car wash. So, I'm willing to find that out. But when you look at it from the outside looking in, you have to understand that with Ice Cube, he definitely defended his honor and his integrity, and I respect him for it. But in haste, when you do it immediately, that's because you feel like you have something to prove. You feel like, what he said might belittle you or make you look bad. Now, there are people that are true believers in, hey, everyone has the right to defend themselves, to speak theirs. If someone else is speaking on your name, you definitely have the right to defend your honor and your name. Facts. But at the same time, there are those of us, myself included, that believe that if you're quick to jump the gun without doing your homework, and you're quick to just go up there and to basically spring back or boomerang back what he said, you're going to find yourself in a situation where now, because it's public, there's a lot of smart motherfuckers out here that like to fact check. All of a sudden, everything that Katt Williams has talked about is coming to fruition. People are finding old VHS tapes. They're bringing shit out the archives. They're blowing off old CDs, right? They want to disprove or prove everything Katt Williams said. The fact is this. Katt Williams said what he said, Holmes, and he stands by it 10 toes down in the motherfucking concrete like the rose that grew from there. He said what he said. He spoke on certain people's names in ill will because he doesn't like them for whatever reason. And it doesn't mean that he spoke on them in a harsh way because he don't like them. He has reasons why he doesn't. That's what I like, is that he elaborated on the reasons. You could say fuck anyone just because you don't care about how they look or how they rock or how they smell or whatever. But you have to have reasons. He explained every reason virtually fucking simplistically, smoothly. He put it out there, why, how, when, and gave dates and times. The motherfucker was real. Now, the Kanye West shit I thought was hilarious. He did marry a hoe. Right? I've said it the whole time. You know what I mean? And she was taking foot long from Ray J. And, you know what I mean? And how do you become a billionaire off the Bumble when you're not talented? Now, I understand she does things for black men that are incarcerated men. And so that's her claim to fame. She thinks that's giving back to the community. No, that's not giving back to the community. That's giving back to the community. She's doing her thing because she has an agenda. Whatever makes her feel good and look good to the public and to the masses is her thing. Whatever keeps that money flowing. Mama got game on tight. She knows what it is. Kanye West is not a crazy person. He is made to look crazy. He's a highly intelligent person. Do I listen to his music? Not really. Do I care for him as a person? I don't know him as a person, so I can't say, that I do. Do I care if tomorrow he falls off and is broke as I am? No, because it's not my business. But one thing I can say for sure is, he's a hardworking man that deserves any situation he puts himself in. So when he put himself in a situation with Kim, who has pretty much fucking boned her way through the NBA, NFL, and the NHL. She's now started on the Polo League, right? Marco Polo, fish in the water, right? She's our, she has a history of this shit. I'm not here to woof on Kim. I'm just saying I feel the way I feel. And I'm going to say it just like Katt said it in a real way, uncut and raw. This whole thing with Katt Williams, and I think the reason why people are so interested or disinterested in him as a person is because he keeps it real. Who doesn't like people that keep it real? Do you want someone who's going to sugarcoat, add preservatives, and constantly lie in your face and just for entertainment, or trick you? Oh, it's them jokes, y'all. Them jokes. Nah, we don't want that. We want someone who's going to tell us what we got to hear or what we're going to hear, not what we want to hear. Someone who's going to give it to us fucking pura, 10 fiber key, uncut. And we're going to say, you know what, whether you like it or not, you can't lie, Holmes. That's a real motherfucker there. Katt Williams did that. Now, he blessed Shannon Sharpe with this. Shannon didn't understand what was going on here. That motherfucker was he was happy. He was drinking like a motherfucker, right? It happened to fall into his lap, and it couldn't have fell into a better person's a platform. Shannon Sharpe deserves what he gets because he's a hard worker. He's up on point. He's a specimen of the craft, man. He knows what he's doing. He's utilized what he learned, in his past career and fucking kind of pushed that over into this career that he's pushing now. What the fuck is this on my screen? Oh, it's the back of the CD, Death Row Hits. So anyways, people wanted me to talk about it. People hit me up. Hey, what do you think about it? I thought it was fantastic, man. I'm not shocked with what goes on in Hollywood. I'm not shocked with people fucking playing their position. I'm not shocked. When it comes to big amounts of money, weird shit goes on. Hollywood's always been spoken of. There's weird shit going on behind the scenes. When you're a person that has so much fucking money, you don't know what to do with it. You start to involve yourself in weird schemes and shit, right? Have you ever noticed that? You got to understand these are the 1%, the elite people we're talking about here. That have a secret society. They are a club, just like a gang. The Crips, the Bloods, the North Bay Thugs, the Sureños, the Woods. You notice I always put gang-related shit in every spill I do? Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody, it's like a fraternity there. It's a secret club. Secret clubs have secret things going on. So it doesn't boggle my mind and doesn't trick me, Holmes, or get me feeling any type of way fuzzy all inside when I'm thinking about what they're doing, because I know they're into a lot of sick shit. That's it, period. You know, they try to persuade people not to expose them. It's been constantly done. You know, does it get a little bit more vicious and violent in the game they're playing? Shit, a lot more than it does in the gangbanging. I'm going to tell you, at least gangbangers will fucking blow your shit out and leave you right there on the corner. These guys will have you in a disappearing, or they'll lock you up forever. It's crazy. Now, some of the things Katt did say tripped me out. You know, some of the shit he spoke on I was not aware of. And it definitely left food for thought. It's definitely something I'm going to look into and do videos on in the near future. But as far as how I felt about that, him exposing everyone, I think it's about time, right? I think it's starting to happen. I think the year 2024 is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. You know, it ain't getting cold this year. It's getting warm. We're starting summer fucking right now. You know, the shit's hot. People are tired of being lied to. People are tired of being in the dark. Turn the fucking lights on. That's it. People want to see what's going on. They want to hear there's a lot of nosy motherfuckers around here. That's just how it is. So I think I think Katt Williams started this gravy train and it's going to continue to keep on going, man. I think people are going to continue to follow this trend. There's going to be a lot of people exposed. P. Diddy, despensa la tira. It's coming, right? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to shock us. There's going to be a lot of people that we thought were so cool and so gifted and so talented, to come to find out the motherfuckers can't read, right? They snore too much. They got small dicks. It's all bad, right? You're going to find out a lot of things that you not necessarily believed were to be true are, you know, and Katt Williams definitely is a pioneer in this shit. Someone who has been outspoken, continues to be outspoken, and is to be respected. If for no other reason than that, simply. I've always respected a person that speaks their mind, Holmes, and tells truths. There's no reason to hide shit anymore. You know, like Katt Williams says, he's got money. You know, I understand it can be taken from him. Anything can be taken from us. Bank accounts frozen, people fucking to push you into dispopularity. There's a lot of things that can happen. Blackballed or shined on. You know, but when you're willing to take a risk and be a strong person, you know, be a strong human being for the betterment of yourself as well as the people around you, well, that's priceless, eh? That's worth its weight in gold. That right there is definitely a measure of a man that I could affiliate or associate with. So with that being said, that's how I feel about it. You know, am I going to not listen to Cedric the Entertainer? Or am I not going to listen to the Steve Harvey? No, because I think these guys are highly intelligent and funny, and they got much more money than I do. So obviously they did something right. You know, whether fucking certain actors or actresses can read or write, hey, as long as they can go on that motherfucker and get fucked like Holly Berry did in Monsters Ball, I'm good, right? So with that being said, man, I'm going to continue to support Katt Williams and his endeavors, continue to support Shannon Sharpe. You know, if you haven't seen the whole video, trip out on it. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's real. At points, man, it'll fucking fuck with your emotions. It's a roller coaster ride. But how I feel about the situation is simply this, man. I'm glad that it took place and that it's happening now. I'm glad people are finally able and have the courage to speak up and keep it fucking real. Whether you choose to believe it or not, some of the things he said, I'm sure he put a little tapatio. Who doesn't? But as far as the majority of the shit he said, he kept it real. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the struggle, to strive, to struggle. I'm going to continue to do me and what I does right here on YouTube. I'm not here to expose no one. I'm not here to clown on anyone. I'm not here to do anything that Katt Williams was doing. But what I am here to do is give you the proper education and certain things that I've lived in my life, tell you some funny stories, and keep the motherfucking train rolling. Bang, bang, gun, in the car that's stolen. You know what it is.